Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the BYU Dynasty. That is right, we return. I know that I said in that last episode that that was going to be the final episode and we were going to be done with BYU because I was tired of them, but then I had a change of heart because we went so deep into the playoffs. We had such a good run in the postseason that I thought maybe we run it back a little bit more. Maybe we see what we can do. We started real rough in the third season, but then we turned it around. We won our last 9 games and made a big run, won the conference title, and yeah, we lost to the Oregon Ducks on the road in the first round of the playoffs. We arguably should have won that game. If you go back and watch that game, the video from that game, we should have won that game, but we just didn't play the best brand of ball we could have played. So I think there might be a glimmer of hope for this BYU dynasty to maybe actually bring home a college football championship. Maybe it's in this episode, maybe it's in the next one. I don't know. Let's go find out. If you enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, join the Juice Club. Let's go see how this season starts and, more importantly, how it finishes. So we arrive at week 0 of 2028 like we always do at the start of these episodes. Always pick up at week 0. We'll take a look at recruiting in a second. Let's go take a look at this roster. And I think, did I forget to do it again? I did forget to do it again. I apologize. I forgot to upgrade the boys again. I usually try to remember to do that before the video starts. I had forgotten again. I forgot to do it the last episode. I apologize. It's not my fault. I got a lot of stuff going on. So let's start with Ezekiel Savage because I do feel like he is the guy. He's probably the starter this year. He's got elite dev, he's a sophomore redshirt, and he earned himself 63 points just sitting on the bench. So let's spend most of those points to fill up his accuracy. He's got really good throw on the run. And let's get that elusiveness up a little bit. He's already got his power up all the way that it can go. He doesn't have great skill caps in terms of his accuracy and power. They're not that good. We'll get his IQ up slightly so he's a little bit of a smarter football player. Get his quickness up by 1, so now he's got 84 speed. And then let's just work on his elusiveness and his IQ. We'll just keep making that higher and higher. And there we go. So now he's an 87 overall quarterback. Right now he's the starter. I don't know what Bear Bachmeier's got in terms of upgrades. Does he have a chance to pass the man? He's already up to an 86. Now he's an 87 with a throw power. He's only got 7 skill points, though. Where do I spend these skill points? Probably in elusiveness, I would think, right? And then we can't spend any more. So now he's an 87 as well. They're both 87 overalls. Well, technically 86, but I don't know. Maybe Bear's the guy. And then Cameron Dyer has a few points to spend. He's got 46 of them things. But his skill caps are even more horrible than Ezekiel Savage's. So I guess we'll use elusiveness for a few of them. And Cameron Dyer's pretty quick. He's got 87 speed. He's up to an 85 overall. All right. We got some high-powered quarterbacks. There's Eli Tryon, who only earned himself 17 skill points, but that's not that bad. His skill points are not the worst in the world. I've seen worse, that's for sure. But we'll definitely get his accuracies up. His throw power is already pretty good. We can get his IQ up a little bit more. He's up to an 80. So who the starter is? I think it's going to be Ezekiel Savage. I think he's going to be the starter. Just because he's a little bit quicker. The throw power is a little bit less. Cameron Dyer's got 97 throw power. I didn't realize that. The accuracies are good for Bear Bachmeier. Maybe he's the guy. I'm not sure. I don't know who I want to be the starter. Pierre Granger's a beast. He's earned himself 58 skill points as a sophomore, a true sophomore. And he's got really good skill caps. Wow, he's got really good skill caps. Okay. let's get that speed up a little bit. I don't really like having it at 89 speed, so we'll get it at 91 speed. That's pretty sick. We'll get his hands up a little bit so that he's not fumbling. That's for sure. You don't want that to happen. We'll get his agility up a little bit more. 3 skill points we can spend right here on the route running, I guess. There we go. 85 overall for our starting running back, who's a true sophomore. That's pretty sick. We'll auto upgrade the rest of these guys. Wide receiver, we've got Trevor Paul, who had earned himself 57 skill points. This guy, remember, is just a random auto-generated player that they threw on my team last year because we only had 3 wide receivers. And his skill caps are not the worst in the world. Now, he doesn't have great speed, so we'll upgrade that all the way to get as high as it can be. 85 speed, that's not amazing. I wish it was a little bit better, but he's an auto-generated guy that we didn't spend any hours recruiting. He just kind of got tossed on our team because we didn't have enough roster spot or receivers to fill the roster. So the CPU just threw him on our team. So I guess he's just a free, we can think of him as like free money. If he ends up developing, that's awesome. He has got star dev. He's up to a 78 overall. He's going to be a contributor on this team. How much of a contributor? I have no idea, but he's going to be a contributor. Tight end, we don't have anybody that I like super care about developing. All these guys are a little bit older. Offensive line guys can get auto upgraded. Probably. Yeah, all these guys can get auto upgraded. On the defensive side of the ball, I have put the red shirts on. I remember to do the red shirts, but I forgot to do the skill points. Armando Blunt, let's upgrade Armando Blunt because he's been a stud for us for a couple of years now. So we will put his power moves up a little bit more. His finesse moves already capped out, but we can put his power moves up. We can put his regular power up, and his quickness, we can't do that, but we can do his run stopping to get his block shed and all that kind of stuff up. His IQ is already maxed out. We can't spend any more points. Okay, so Armando Blunt is up to an 86. That's a pretty solid senior edge rusher. We've got Abasiri, who's doing well. We've got some good true freshmen like Mike Coffey. We moved from edge rusher to D tackle, and he's gonna be a starter for us. So that's pretty sick. I'm excited to see what he does. Everybody else, I kind of want to see just auto upgraded. I think maybe we'll upgrade Farrell, Jalen Farrell, the true freshman, or not true freshman, the 5-star junior. Is he a 5-star? He's a 5-star, right? Yeah, he's a 5-star. I think he was the first 5-star we brought in. We'll get his IQ up a little bit. We'll get his pass coverage up because that is a little bit weak. So we'll get the pass coverage up. His quickness is already fine enough. I don't really have the skill points to spend on that, I don't think. But he's up to a 92. 92 overall for the true junior, Jalen Farrell. And then we will just probably let the CPU handle the rest of this. Yeah, let's just let the CPU handle the rest of this. So we will go hold, auto progress, entire roster auto progresses. Where are we at with the team now? Where are we at with the team? So the team gets a little bit better. Hicks jumps up to a 79 overall. I'm excited about these guys. I'm definitely excited. We will see where they go. We will see where the team goes. Let's take a look at the schedule for season number 4. We've got Boston College, Oregon State, Arizona. So we got 2 non-conference games, then we start the conference with Arizona, but then we have another little break in there with Illinois, non-conference. And then we've got Arizona State, and then it ramps up. But this non-conference is not as difficult as last year's, I don't think. Although last year's was only tough because Houston was playing so well. Arizona State, I think, had a decent season last year. Utah was not good last year. We beat them pretty easily. We didn't play Baylor last year, or UCF, or Kansas. So we got some new teams in here for this season of who we're playing, which is pretty sick. But the final thing we need to take a look at is recruiting. We're going after recruiting. I did get a 4-star auto commitment. I was just going through and offering scholarships like I always do. And Brett Ninkovich, 4-star right tackle, auto committed. He just verbally committed already. So that's awesome. We already have a commitment in the class. We are going up against one of the greatest names of all time, Ezekiel Gooch, #1 player in the class, like I always do. But this is where we're at. We got a lot of 5-stars, a lot of 4-stars, like always. Will we be able to get these guys? I don't know. Probably not. It's probably not going to go well. I'm probably going to cry and have a fit and vomit and throw up and all that kind of stuff. But we will find out how that goes, how recruiting goes. Our grades should be a little bit better since we made a playoff. Playoff? Our coach prestige is good, at least. B+. That was one thing we were worried about last year because we were losing so many games early on. We were worried about our coach prestige going down, but we were able to pull that back up. We did get locked out of Trey Johnson, which is kind of annoying because we need receiver. I do have 25 hours on a lot of different people. I've chosen to do it this way. So we go 50 hours on the 5 stars, some of the 5 stars, and then 25 on a few other 5 stars, and maybe that'll work. Maybe that's a better strategy. Instead of spreading myself so thin, just going after a few different guys. We'll see. We will see if this is a better strategy or not. And maybe I should put 25 hours on one of these extra guys and go 50 on somebody. That kind of feels like what I should do. Taylor Theus has locked us out. I didn't see that. So that sucks. We don't have any quarterback except for John Gentile, who's got 92 throw power, 84 speed. We've already got 50 hours on him, so we're working on John Gentile. Where do I should probably put him up at the top so we know what 50-hour guys we're going after, because these are the most important guys, the 50-hour guys. So maybe we should put another 25 on Doug Bender, or we should go after one of these corners that we actually have a chance at, like Villamy Young. Maybe we should switch from 25 to 50 and then like show everybody that we're serious about him. So let's switch him to 50. So we're going after these guys for 50. We'll see if we can get in the race for them. We did go from 600 hours to 700 hours, so that's an extra 100 hours we didn't have last season. But now we start against BC. We are ranked again. We were ranked last year to start the season, but we obviously struggled to start the year. I don't envision us struggling that much. We're still running the same playbooks, the Oregon playbook and all that kind of stuff. Oh, I need to make sure that I have the right starting quarterback because I don't want Bear Bachmeier starting. I think I am going to choose Ezekiel Savage. I think it's time for the Savage to start. They actually have him as the 3rd string right now in the depth chart. Very interesting. I do like Cameron Dyer, and I wish that he was the starter, but he's just not a high enough overall because he's got really good throw power. But I am going to go with the more athletic, slightly less accurate, slightly less strong of an arm, but not by much between him and Bear. But I am going to go with Savage. Athletic ability and dev trait takes precedent. So we're going to go with him as the starting quarterback of this team. And if he doesn't get the job done, then I guess we can switch to Bear. But I do think Ezekiel Savage is the right choice. And we're going to go see if his debut is worth all the hype of him being an elite dev player and developing as quick as he is. First game of the season, first start in the young career of Ezekiel Savage. Can he drive this offense and do the job? He's already got 14 points on the board. That's a good start. Although our defense, I think, got a turnover, so it's always nice to have. But we are dominating already against BC. 17-0. BC's offense cannot move the football against us, at least not score. They might be able to move. There they go. They get a touchdown late 3rd quarter. Now we're into the 4th. Knight has fallen. But we get another field goal, 20-7. All right, we're not as high-powered of an offense as I would have liked, but 20 points against BC is not horrible. Not great either. And then we win. Okay, so 20-7 victory to start season 4 is not the end of the world. The defense played really well, only holding BC to 7 points in the 3rd quarter. That guy's eyes are out of control right now. 89, his eyes are out of control. So I'll take the W. I mean, I'm going to take every W. Doesn't matter if we win by 2 points, we win by 3 points, we win by 1 point, we win by 90 points. I don't care how many points we win by, as long as we win. Except for when recruits are on campus. Then I care about blowing people out. But as long as we win, we did okay. We did the job. And that keeps our coach prestige up. That keeps our ranking up. I should have checked the stats there for that game. I didn't want to see how Ezekiel Savage played. So he had 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bear did get in for a throw. I don't know, maybe Ezekiel got hurt for a play or two. I don't know, but 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not the greatest season start. Not the greatest numbers. We'll see what he does. We take on a decent Oregon State team to start the year. They're 2-0. We've jumped really far ahead on Ezekiel Gooch because no other team has offered him a scholarship. That happened recently in one of my other ones. I don't know if it was this series, but last year, something happened where the number 1 player in the class, I think it might have been East Delaware, the number 1 player in the class just didn't get recruited the whole year. It was very strange. I don't know why that was the case. And it seems like it's happening again, at least a little bit. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. We don't have any other hours. We don't have anybody ready for a visit just yet. We're only in week 2. Don't have anybody in a visit. So let's get through this game against Oregon State. This should be a victory. I know they're 2-0, but we are clearly a better team than Oregon State. So they are 69 overall. Not so nice. And we should easily walk right through them. Here we are, first road game of the year, game number 2 of the season, taking on Oregon State. Oregon State is on my list of potential teams to do one of these type of series with in the future. And we are already up 21-0 in the first quarter. 21-7, Oregon State gets on the board. But like I said before we jumped in the game, this should be a very simple game. They're not that good. They're not that good at all. So we should be able to very easily dominate these guys. And it looks like we got 27 points. We got a field goal. The offense kind of slows down in the second half is what I'm noticing from this quick sim so far. They did get a touchdown, but it's still 27-14. No real threat to lose that game. And we come away with the victory. We put 21 in the first quarter. It was over at the first quarter. It was over when we put up 21. How did Savage do in this game? He puts up... They have Julian Duggar as their quarterback. Okay. He puts up 170 yards and 1 touchdown. So how are we scoring our offense? How are we scoring our points? Pierre Granger puts up 2 touchdowns on the ground, 109 yards. All right, very interesting. So the offense seems to be running through the ground game, which is very strange for Oregon playbook. You'd think that Ezekiel Savage would be like lighting up the field, but as long as we're winning games, I guess it doesn't matter too much because he's got elite dev. He's going to develop regardless. I mean, we've seen what he's developed into, not even stepping on the field just yet as a starter. So we'll see what he develops, even putting up minor numbers. We'll figure that out. And I do love a good minor, so we'll figure that out. Let's take off Darren Brooks. Let's take off Pat Purdue. I thought about putting points on Pat Purdue, but I didn't decided not to, obviously, because he locked us out. Let's see what we got. So we are still firmly in the lead for all of these guys. We've got 25 hours remaining. None of them have obviously moved into their top 5 just yet. But if I want to move more aggressively on another one of these 25 guys, I should probably put that 25 and make it a 50. So what do I want to make it? Do I want to get aggressive on like a running back? Brendan Yeboah? Is he fast? I don't remember what he looks like. He's got 89 speed and acceleration. That's not the end of the world. He's not a horrible running back. I've seen a lot worse than that. But this Terrence Ivory guy, boundary corner, we might need to put extra hours on because Notre Dame is starting to make a real push. So we don't want to get too far behind on that. So we'll switch him with Bender, and we'll see if we can catch Cal and Notre Dame because they are starting to pull away a little bit. As we are starting to pull away on Ezekiel Gooch, which is always nice. You always like to pull away on the Gooch. So taking on Arizona today, week 3. Should be another fairly simple game. We're back at home. This should be a W. Our first night game, full night game, because we started at night for this one. We went into the night against the first team we played against, which was somebody. I don't remember. Why am I already blanking on who we played against? Whatever, doesn't matter. We're taking on Arizona. I jumped in on accident. I didn't want to jump in here. I think they're kicking a field goal or something. So we already have 6 points. It looks like we missed our extra point, or maybe we went for 2 and didn't get it. I don't know. But sometimes it goes too fast for me to read. But our defense has played really, really well to start this season, which is a very promising sign for later on. We do get a touchdown, make it 12-0, but now it's 12-7, and I think I might have to jump in here and hold the lead. First down and 10. You know how the CPU is with running the clock out, so they don't do a very good job. So we're going to try to do it. Pierre Granger, we saw him a little bit last year, and he was very good, and now he's the starter, and he gets a first down right there. And maybe we should just score right away. I don't know. That's probably not a good idea. Because it'll be what, 18-0 or 18-7? We do score. I didn't try to score. They pushed me in there as I was going down. We go in. You know what? It's fine. We'll see what happens. The defense is good enough. And they can't win on 1 touchdown. So we win the game 19-7. We start the season undefeated. We didn't have the high-powered offense that we've had in the past. But our defense is what's dominated right now. And Ezekiel Savage puts up 117 yards and a touchdown. That seems to be what he's doing. We know that Granger got the touchdown because we scored it. That just seems to be what Granger does. He puts up about 170, 180 yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns. That's his game through the air. Which I don't think is the worst performance you could ever have in a season. It's not amazing. It's not high power. It's not going to win you the Heisman. It is good. It's good enough to win the Big 12. That's for sure. We get Tameo Pea. I don't know how to say his name, man. He wins the player of the week. You know who it is. You can read. I can't. We're still in the lead for all these guys. We're looking good, although Miami's making a little push on Bo Atagwi. We got to make a decision on him. We got locked out on this guy, or deal breaker on this guy. We'll keep on the board because we're in the lead. Until we fall out on the lead on that, we'll make a decision. We're still looking good here. We're making some moves. We're doing some things. Things are moving. Things are shaking. We have passed Cal now. And we've calmed down on Notre Dame's lead because Terrence Ivory has made it to his top 5. So now a visit is possible, but he's from Virginia, so he's going to take 40 hours to get on campus. That's the one thing that's a struggle with some of these guys. And now that some of these guys are in their final 5, it might need to be visit time. So we might need to make some decisions. So a guy like Anthony Cheeseman, we might need to take these 25 hours off for right now so we can make a decision on some of these other guys that are ready to go. Who's the first guy that's ready to go? It looks like it is Justice Wiley, but he's got 40 hours because he's from Indiana. I got to remember not to recruit these guys that are so far away because it takes so many hours to get them in. 20 hours on JP Tavares, but do we prioritize him or do we prioritize Justice Wiley or Weil as we put 50 hours on him, so we probably should prioritize him, shouldn't we? But we need to take 25 hours off of somebody else. Let's take him off of Colin McBean. That opens up 40. We can get Justice Weil on campus, and it seems he's the only one we can get on campus with the hours that we have available. And the 5 stars aren't ready to come yet, so we'll see what happens. Taking on Illinois should be another easy one. They're not that good. It's out of conference. It should just be another win. It's as simple as that. Out of conference matchup against the Fighting Illini here. This is our first test against a team that's not like horrible but not amazing. And they play against good competition in the Big Ten. At least a few teams. But we do lead 13-0. Our defense, man, that's the big thing that I've noticed so far through these first few games of Sim. Our defense is very, very good. Although we allow 7 points and our offense is not as high-powered as I would have liked. But we have a lead, 13-7. I don't think are we going for extra points and missing them? Are we going for 2 and not hitting them? I'm not sure why we're not at 14 right now. It's very strange. Very, very confused. But we're trying to put some more points on the board here. 2nd and 10, handoff to Granger. Granger's going to get wrapped up because the blocking was not there. The guy wasn't there that I wanted to get blocked. We're going to have to see the athleticism of Ezekiel Savage here. See what he's got. We're going to roll. We're going to fire. He's got good throw on the run, but that was not good throw on the run. That was trash throw on the run, actually, from Ezekiel Savage. And we will go to kick a field goal. Hopefully not miss it. We'll see what happens. We do get it, 16-7. And we got the ball back again. You love to see it. We're going for it. We're getting things happening. 19-7. We were in the red zone, didn't get it. I'm a little bit concerned about our offense. We do win against Illinois because our defense only allows 7 points. I am a little bit concerned about our offense, though. Little bit concerned. Savage puts up 97 yards, no touchdowns, interception. Maybe the offense isn't as high-powered as I want it to be because Ezekiel Savage doesn't have the throwing ability. He might be athletic, but maybe he doesn't have the throwing ability, the passing ability that we need to be in this offense. I mean, we're winning games, so I can't be too mad about it. Maybe we should give the start to Bear Bachmeier and see if the throwing gets better. I mean, it's against an Arizona State team, so if we're going to do it against anybody, it's against this horrible Arizona State team is probably what we should do. We have enough hours to offer Terrence Ivy. We probably should get him on campus and probably as quick as possible because Notre Dame seems to be pulling away a little bit. So we need to get Terrence Ivy on campus. We have 25 hours remaining. We need to make a decision. We're now falling down on these two guys, which is by design. We knew that we were going to fall down. We are now back on Bernie Hollenbach, which is good. That's always good to see. We're back on him. But we need to make a decision on some of these guys. So who's going to be the next guy we send on campus? Is it going to be JP Tavares? We've got these two guys coming in. None of the 5 stars are ready just yet, except for you. I didn't see you. Never mind, it's going to be you then. But we have 40 hours. Oh, okay. So I got to stop recruiting these guys that are that are so far away from BYU territory. You're not getting recruited by anybody else but us, so we can kind of calm down on you a little bit. We can kind of calm down on you a little bit. And now we've opened up 40 hours, so we can get Robert Quenque. We can get him on campus, and we can probably get him on campus week 8 against Oklahoma State. He's 7 foot, or 7 foot. He's 6'7". That's pretty big. Okay, let's start Baron Bachmeier against Arizona State. They're trash. They're not good. So if we can make a quarterback change, we can afford to make one. We can do it against them. So he's got better throw power. He's got better accuracies. Maybe that will make the offense more high-powered. I don't know. It's just an experiment. I want to see what happens. We're taking on a god-awful Arizona State team. This is the final game before the bye. So let's win it, and let's see how the offense looks with Bachmeier at quarterback and compare it to how Ezekiel Savage has done the first 4 weeks, or first 5 weeks, I should say. Taking on Arizona State at night, we've got our new starting quarterback, Bear Bachmeier, in the game, and I'm hoping that he can run this offense a little bit more efficiently, and it looks a little bit better, looks a little bit more high-powered than what Ezekiel Savage was doing with the offense. We are down 7, or we're up 7-3. Thankfully, our defense is just really, really good this year, which is a nice little crutch to have when you're trying to figure out who your quarterback is. But we're only up 10-3. The offense is not moving as efficiently as I would have thought with Bachmeier at quarterback. Maybe they're not the guy. Maybe he's not the guy. Because we only win 10-3 against Arizona State, who's just trash. So, I don't know. Maybe Bear's not the guy. Maybe Bear's not the guy. How did he do? He put up 139 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. 2 picks against... Okay. All right. I don't know if that's filling me with so much confidence. I don't know if Bear's the guy. I'm just grateful we've started so well. This year has been a complete 180 from what we did at the start of year 3. So I'm just happy that we're starting so much better this year than we did last year. Because I was about to have a mental breakdown last year with the way we started. We have now gotten down to the final 5 for these big top 5 prospects, or big 5-star prospects, I should say, if I can speak English correctly. Let's go and schedule them for visits. Nobody's going after Ezekiel Gooch, but I want this recruiting visit to be, or I want this recruitment to be over. So we're going to get him on campus week 8. We're going to get him in here, and we're probably going to hard sell him. Nobody else is even going after him. So I just want to get this over with so we can feel safe knowing we have this guy locked up. It's going to be an A+, a B+, and a B. It's not the greatest hard sell in the world, but with nobody else going after him, it should be good enough. And then we need to get Mike Veal on campus so we can do that. And we should probably also switch to a hard sell on him as well. And he's probably going to be a similar one to what we just had. So Sunday player, 2 B+ and an A+. That's a little bit better than the A+, B+, B. And that's the hours that we can schedule. We have John Gentile ready for a visit, but we don't have the hours to switch him. How much is he? He is 40 again because he's from Kentucky. Stop recruiting guys that are so far away. All right, whatever. JP Tavares, I think we should just get out on. There's no way we're going to win this recruitment, so let's just pull out the hours on him, take him off the board. We're not going to win that one. Sometimes you got to realize when to fold him. And it might be the same for Zeke Bess, because we can't get him on campus until week 12. He's already going on campus everywhere else. So that one's a loss as well. That one's a loss, so we'll take him off the board. And now we have those 40 hours to get the quarterback on a visit. So let's get Jean Gentile on campus. I can't get him on week 8, but I can get him on week 9. I wish I would have thought about that a little bit better, because we could have had the complimentary visit, but that's okay. Totally fine. Totally fine. We can hard sell him, maybe. Let's wait on him a little bit on the hard sell. We don't have to immediately go after him for a hard sell. Let's switch to 35 hours on Doug Bender because Alabama's making a good push for him. So let's switch that. And now we have the bye week. We'll figure out where we go from there. We're looking pretty good, though. 5-0, top 15 in the country, ranked. Looking pretty solid. We get locked out of all these guys, all these extra 4 stars. But we know who we're going after. We're taking on another Utah team that's bad. Last year, they were just horrible. And now this year, they seem to have not been able to rebound. We get locked out on you, get locked out on you, and locked out on all of these guys. Totally fine, not a big deal. We know who we're going after. We have our priorities straight. So let's get a visit on Boa Tagui. He's got 40 as well. He's from Florida. Everybody's got 40 hours because I recruit the farthest players from campus. We can get him on campus, also 40. We got to get him on week 10 because I don't want him on a competitive visit. That would be not beneficial. But we have 50 hours remaining, so we can switch maybe. Let's switch to... I don't even know. We are kind of losing out on Tremaine McCarty, so let's go to a full 50 on him. And we can also get him on a visit. But he's got 2 competitive visits right now. We need to snag him up before he goes on campus to USC. Or maybe we just give up on it because we've got 2 guys that we like a little bit better. We've got 2 corners coming in that we like a little bit better. Maybe we don't need to go out. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. We're going to stay with the 25 on Tremaine McCarty. We're not going to push as hard on him. I think I'll switch my full 50 to Doug Bender. That seems like a smart thing to do because he's a 5-star. That would make the most sense. So we'll switch our full 50 to him. And then I'll put a little bit more pressure on Brandon Yeboah. Make him want to come play for us a little bit more. We'll put 35 on him. Week 8 and Week 9, man. Week 8 and Week 9 are the biggest ones. I think we need to switch to a hard sell on Villami Young. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I apologize. I try my best. We'll switch to a hard sell on him. We're looking good everywhere else. Robert might need a hard sell. We don't know a lot about what he likes. But we do know the playing time one is good. It could be that one. It could be primetime player. Is that the only one it can be? Please tell me that's the only one it can be. It is. Okay, perfect. So we know it's primetime player. We got 2 A+ in that hard sell, so that's perfect. We're looking good there. Did we already switch on Bo? No, we haven't switched on Bo yet. Let's switch the hard sell on Bo. Got to make sure that we're winning these recruitments as quick as possible so we don't lose out on them and I don't cry. Looks like it's going to be Gamer this time. Another one with 2 A+. I told you our grades are a lot better this year, so that is definitely helping us out. We've already switched the hard sell on all these guys. Switch the hard sell on you. We probably need to switch to a hard sell on Justice Weil. Once these visits happen, once Week 8 and Week 9 come around, I think that's when this season's going to pick up. Because that's when all these recruits are going to be making their decisions, I would think. So now that we're not going to go after McCarty as much, we can choose to maybe go after Mafu Kafusi. Mafu Kafusi? Am I saying his name right? I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh, man, I don't know. Let's just go 25 and then the 35 on him. So we'll go a little bit harder on him, and we'll see if we can grab him. There's still a 5-star that we haven't gone after. Nazir Berry, another corner. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're taking on Utah. We've got ourselves our first rivalry game. It is the Holy War against Utah. They're bad again this year. We might be able to capitalize and win a 3rd straight year against them because I think every year of this rebuild so far, we've beaten them. Let's try to go for a 4th. The big rivals come to play. Utah is against us today. We've got Bear Bachmeier on the field as the starting quarterback again. I chose to give him a second chance because I think one game is not a good enough sample size for me to make my full decision on who the starter is. But this offense, I don't know, man. It doesn't feel the same as it did when Ezekiel Savage was on the field. We are only up 7-6. I don't know. I don't know what I've been told, but this offense doesn't feel the same as it did with Ezekiel Savage on the field. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm being cray-cray. I don't know. But it don't feel the same. He does have a harder arm to throw, and that's going to be Waller incomplete. Did I say harder arm? I meant stronger arm. I guess his arm might be harder. I don't know. I didn't feel it. 2nd and 10. We probably shouldn't have done that, but I thought Waller might be able to win on the press coverage. But we've got the first down anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's a big first down. Haonga. He gets himself the first down. This playbook is very read option heavy, but we don't have a quarterback right now that can run read option. Bear Bachmeier's not fast. So I prefer not to run read option with him. We'll try this, and maybe Waller on the right side of the field can win in press coverage. He cannot. So we'll go to the sideline. That's a tough throw to hit. It's a long throw, but Nakua is able to get it. 81 yards and a touchdown is all Bachmeier can put up. I don't know if we have a quarterback on this team that I like. I think next week we will go back to Ezekiel Savage. I think that makes the most sense. Injury to a Utah player. He's totally faking it to save a timeout for Utah. That's a total fake. Underneath, Lofton catches. That's the first down, and that's the end of the timeouts for Utah. They use their final one. But I don't know if we have a quarterback on here that I think is the quarterback of this future. Although we know that it's not Bachmeier because he's a junior, so he's not really thought of as the guy of the future. I'm not sure who the guy is. Maybe it is Ezekiel Savage. Maybe he can turn around. Maybe this benching that he took, maybe that will spark something in him. I don't know. We might have to... I don't know. We might have to kick a field goal here. It's looking a little sketchy. First down would be huge, and I think we might get it. Haonga got the first down with a juke move. We're going to win the Holy War for the 4th straight year, because Haonga, he juked out the man, broke his ankles, snatched them things, and we win the Holy War. This one wasn't as impressive of an offensive performance, but it doesn't matter as long as we win the Holy War. But I do think that Bear Bachmeier, even though he gets player of the game, I do think his time as the starter is done for at least now. And we know that if something were to happen to Ezekiel Savage, we can move to Bear and we'd be okay. We'd be comfortable. But look at that. We got 4 boots. We got 4 boots. We've taken the feet of 4 or 2 different people. We have 4 boots in our trophy room. I think that's pretty cool. All right. Let's get to the depth chart and move Ezekiel Savage back so I don't forget. Ezekiel Savage will be back as the starting quarterback. All right. And we will advance to the next week, which is important because it is a home game now. It's recruiting visits. Week 8 and week 9 are the big visits. I'm excited. It's Oklahoma State. That's about as good of a team as you could ask for your first visit, because we have a chance to absolutely destroy those guys. We're looking pretty good. Man, this battle with Georgia, they don't have him on campus yet. But that battle with Georgia is going to be tough. This battle with Notre Dame is going to be tough. We need to get Doug Bender on campus. We can get him on week 10. He's got the complimentary with Young, so that'll work out pretty nice. We can also switch to a possible hard sell on him, although we don't know enough to maybe actually do this. It's probably primetime player, but is there any other one it could be? Ooh, it could also be Star Search, but I'm gonna bank that it's not Star Search. I'm gonna bank that's primetime player. So we're gonna risk it for the biscuit because we got to pass Alabama. So we're gonna try that. Tremaine McCarty, USC is starting to pull away on him, but I'm not super fussed about that. Kafasu, we can now afford to put full 50 on. So we can do that and try to keep up with USC because they passed us now. Greg Ali, we can go for a visit. We can go week 10, and we can do playing time for him. Ooh, now James Hicks is in a little bit of a battle, so we might have to go slightly harder on him. We can get rid of Nico DiNucci. And we could probably get rid of Enrique Soria because we're not going to go after him. Are we in any sort of battle for Nazir Berry. I'll put 5 hours on him. It's probably very much out of the race, but I want to see what happens with him, so we'll see. But this is a big week. This is our first big recruiting visit week. Week 8 against Oklahoma State. Thank God it's against a team that's not very good. Ezekiel Savage makes his return to the starting lineup, and I'm hoping that we make the return to putting up a bunch of points because we need to blow out Oklahoma State to impress these 5 stars. Taking on Oklahoma State with 5 stars in attendance, and look at that. Immediately, Ezekiel Savage goes down the field and scores. He might be the guy. Maybe we made a mistake having Bear Bachmeier as the starting quarterback because Ezekiel Savage has already put up 14 points. The offense seems to flow a little bit better with him. I didn't see that as clearly because we hadn't seen what the offense looked like with Bear at quarterback, but now we've seen what it looks like. We escaped some of those games, well, we won them, but this offense looks a lot better with Ezekiel Savage. 26-0. Yeah, we achieved the blowout. That is exactly the type of win we needed. We shut out Oklahoma State at home. How did Ezekiel do? How did he do? He put up 108 yards and a touchdown. He's not even doing that well. It's just Pierre Granger is a beast. That's really all that it is. And the defense is phenomenal this year. I don't know why the defense is so good. Like, it's not like I upgraded the defense that crazy. If anything, I thought the defense was going to be worse this year because we lost so many talented players. But the defense has been fantastic this season. Not allowing very many points at all. And we are dominating. We didn't get anybody to commit off of that week 8 visit. But now we take on Kansas. We're number 6 in the country. It did give a huge boost. Look at that boost that we got off the visit on Ezekiel Gooch. That is an insane boost that we got. We got an insane boost for Mike Veal. And now week 9 comes around. Oh, Robert's about to commit. We might be on the verge of getting some of these guys. We might be on the verge. It could be happening. It could be happening. I think I'm just going to take the hours off of McCarty. I don't think it's worth going after him. We've already kind of decided to not go after him. But that means I can maybe snag Nazir Berry. I'm going to try. I think this is a very dumb decision, but I'm going to try to snag him and see what happens. We're going to try to come out of nowhere. We are starting to fall back on a few extra guys. I think I can kind of cool down a little bit on Yaboa. Just a little bit. Maybe I can schedule a visit for Nazir Berry. I'll wait on that a little bit more. But I need to put more hours on James Hicks. Although I need to schedule a visit as well. So we'll do that. We'll put that on him as well. 35. Because UConn has come out of nowhere to try and take him away. We'll see. But I like that I'm going after this 5-star Nazir Berry. It's very at the buzzer for Nazir Berry. I don't think we're going to get him. But you never know. Maybe we can sneak in there and get him. But this is another big visit week. Week number 9. I think if we win this game and win it pretty confidently, and by a big margin, I think we're going to see our first commitments of the season after this game. Taking on the Kansas Jayhawks at home. Another visit week. And we finally are down in a game. We have not been down in a game for a minute. But now we tied it. We get the ball back immediately and score again. Okay, that's where I want to see the defense step up. Getting the football back immediately and scoring is always nice. But Kansas might be our first real threat, and they have tied it. And they have taken the lead. Okay, things are a little dangerous here in BYU territory. It's 4th and 1. I'm going to give it to Pierre Granger. But Kansas is our first big threat. So we're not going to, it looks like at least, blow them out. But this is intense. I did not think this is the way the game would go. Our defense has finally allowed more than 10 points. Feels strange this season. Granger can't get much going there. I want to throw the ball a little bit with Ezekiel Savage. I'm not making the right reads. Kevin Haywood, offensive lineman, injured on the play. I need to make slightly better reads with Ezekiel Savage. I'm going to throw the ball with him. We're going to send Waller deep. He's going to get red on that. But I've got a man open. It's Hicks. Hicks has got it. He turns up the field. Look at Hicks go. He gets a first down. No touchdowns for Ezekiel Savage. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if we have a quarterback on this team that I think is the future. Look at Pierre Granger go. Look at Pierre Granger into the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. The Mormons take the lead. And now we need the defense to play the best brand of ball they can play. But they have taken the lead as well. Touchdown, Kansas. 51 seconds is all that remains between us and a failure of a game with recruits on campus. Oh, but look at Pierre Granger go. That was a huge first run of the drive or first play of the drive for Granger there. Let me get out, throw that to Granger, but it's a bad throw from Ezekiel Savage. Okay. I thought if I got out and threw that quickly, it would work a little bit better, but I was wrong on that one. We do only need a field goal to tie and take it to overtime, but I don't really want to tie and take it to overtime. I kind of want to win this game outright. It's not going to be the blowout we're looking for, but a win is a win is a win is a win. 30 seconds remain. Let's go underneath to Hoffman. He's going to try to get the first down. We're going to call the timeout. 26 seconds remain. We've got 2 timeouts. It's fine. It's fine. No big deal. No dealio. We're in a very good position right now. That's caught. It's Waller for the first. Clock's going to stop momentarily. We can run some hurry up. If Nakua can actually get to his spot quickly, thank God. I'm actually going to scramble with Ezekiel Savage. This is why we have Ezekiel Savage, for moments like that. To the 3. Ezekiel Savage with a beautiful run. That's the athleticism that he brings to the table that Baron Bachmeier simply does not. And Granger will not get in. He's denied at the 1-yard line. They want me to kick the field goal to tie it. I don't want to kick the field goal. This is super risky. This is unbelievably risky to call a play here with no timeouts. If he gets stopped, it's over. It's as simple as that. If we get stopped here at the 1 or something, it's over. But here we go. Possible final play of the game. It's end zone. It's a touchdown by Pierre Granger. Ezekiel Savage delivers. And BYU takes the lead at the death. And we hold on for the victory. So we don't end up blowing out Kansas, but we do get the win. And I know that the blowout would have been nice to have. But a win is a win is a win is a win. So we'll see if that hurts the recruiting or if it's good. I don't know. Let's advance and find out. Let's find out what happens. That was a good drive by the BYU offense there. We do get some commitments. Ezekiel Gooch, the #1 player in the country, has committed to the program, along with Justice Weil. But those are the only 2. Young chose Georgia, really? All right, whatever. I can't believe he chose Georgia. And I did see that Nazir Berry also locked us out. So that's not shocking. I kind of assumed that's what was gonna happen. But I thought maybe we could sneak in and get him. I can't believe that Villani Young, whatever his name is, he chose Georgia. Unbelievable. But we get another commitment. It's Ezekiel Gooch. Beautiful. #1 player in the class. Playing time, yeah, he's not decommitting from that. So we've got 3 commitments, 2 4-stars and 1 5-star. We didn't get Mike Veal off either of those games. Or Atagwe. Or Robert. Oh, and Ole Miss jumped us on that because they had him on campus that week. Oh, that's a little sketchy. That is a little sketchy. We might be losing that one. Nazir Berry we can switch off on. Yaboa we can finally get on a visit. We can do week 12 for him. That feels pretty good to get him on campus. We've chased after USC for a while now. We need to switch to a hard sell on Kufasi. Or Kaufusi. I don't know how to say his name, man. I don't know how to say anybody's name. Let's try Conference Legend. That's 2 A's and a B+. Should be solid. We can get Matakevich on campus. We can also go full 50 on him if we want to. We have the hours to do so. We can also go full 50 on Greg Ali, or we can just straight hard sell him. That's probably what we should do. Let's just go straight to the hard sell on Greg Ali. Not waste any time. It's probably going to be Star Search for that one, so we'll go there. And then we will switch to a full 50 on... Actually, a lot of these guys we can just probably switch straight to the hard sell. It's going to be Standard Bearer, I would assume. And then Bernie Hollenbach, we can get a hard sell as well, as we know all three of his. His is also Standard Bearer. All right, that leaves us with 45 hours. Is there anybody that we desperately need to get on campus? I think the only guy that we need to get on a visit is Hollenbach. So let's schedule a visit, week 12, and playing style. So perfect. I can put extra 5 on Brandon Yeboah, and we'll see what we got. I can't believe that Ole Miss forced that visit, because if we would have had a better game against Kansas, I think we wouldn't have been passed by Ole Miss. But because he was on campus and we didn't play as well, I think he might choose Ole Miss. But now we take on Houston. We are coming on to the end of the season here, the final few games of the year. But look at our defense, man. Our defense has been unbelievable, allowing 14 points to Oregon State, but then we haven't allowed more than 7 until that game against Kansas. We got 4 more games to go in the regular season. Strange game against Kansas. I don't see that happening much the rest of the season, but you never know. Maybe Houston puts up a lot of points on us. I don't know. Hopefully not, though, because I want to see an undefeated season for the Mormons. We're taking on Houston today in Week 10 at home. Cougars versus Mormons. Very opposing dynamics right there. But I'm assuming their offense is going to be a little bit better. The defense is going to be a little bit better. I don't know what we were going up against Kansas, but maybe they had our number that day, I guess. They didn't beat us, but they had our defensive number, that's for sure. We get a field goal. Offense is not as high-powered as I would have liked today, but we're still leading, and the defense is pitching a shutout right now. And we put up a field goal. 13-0. Oh, they got a touchdown at the end. Okay. We don't pitch the shutout, but we do get 13-7 victory. We're not winning these games by much. We're not winning a lot of these games by much, but we are winning them, and that's really all that matters. That's really all that matters, especially in college football, because you're not like playing for draft picks or anything like that. As long as you win, you're going to be in a good position to make the playoffs. You're going to be in a good position to get recruits. Winning is all that matters in college football. And then speaking of recruits, Mike Veal has committed to the program. We do lose out on, oh my God, Doug Bender, Terrence Ivey, and the right tackle, Quenque, have all chosen other schools. That's heartbreaking. Oh my God, I knew he was going to choose Ole Miss. The moment Ole Miss passed us last week, I knew he was going to choose Ole Miss. Oh, that's brutal. And he's got championship contender. Ole Miss is not losing out on that. He's got pro potential. Playing time, he's not losing out on that. Terrence Ivey, I mean, there's a world where he decommits from Notre Dame. I guess it depends on the recruiting or the how many guys they send to the draft class, I guess. But 2 5-stars in the class is always good, both on defense, linebacker, speed rusher. We're still trying to get a Tagwe and Gentile. If we keep winning, we should be able to get both of those guys. We will switch to a full 50 on... Actually, we probably should... let's switch to a full 50 on Yeboah. Arizona's not making that big of a push, so... We are climbing for Kaufusi. We are trying to get him. We're looking good on all these guys. We have 300 hours available. We can go and add some more people to this class if we're feeling like it. There's Enrique Soria. We kind of gave up on Enrique Soria. Maybe there's a world where I can get back in on him. I'll throw him back on the board. Maybe I can get back in. I don't see it happening that much, but maybe. We'll put that corner back on the board. There's a couple middle linebackers. We don't really need that many middle linebackers. I guess we do. It's saying that we need a bunch of middle linebackers. And some of these guys don't have any offers. So we can maybe snag some of them and add them to the board and maybe take them to the house. There's a 3-star corner. There's a couple of wide receivers here, which we could always use, that's for sure. but I think I should add a couple extra offensive linemen because we're very thin at those positions. So let's go after some more offensive linemen. There's a 3-star right tackle. There's also a JUCO junior I'm not interested in that much. Let's just add a bunch of offensive linemen to the board. And then we'll add some guards to the board. And see if we can get it on. We're not going to be in... yeah, he's not... can we get on Obi? Probably not. We probably can't get on him. Let's just move down and get some of these other guys. Maybe there's a center we can grab. Preferably from a place a little bit closer so it doesn't cost us that much. What about all prospects? What kind of players are still available? I would assume most of them either locked us out or chosen other schools, but I just want to see if there's any other 5 stars that we can maybe get in on. It doesn't look like there's any other 5 stars we can get on. That's okay. That's okay. We've got what we need to do. We know what we need to do. Let's put some outside linebackers on this board. Maybe grab some of them. Some Sam linebackers, some Will linebackers. There's a guy from Utah that could be decent. We'll put them on the board. We'll put another Mike linebacker on this board. Got to fill some of these spots. We do have a lot of Mike linebackers, if I could speak. We have a lot of Mike linebackers on the board. And then we need to put a couple of safeties on this board. There is a 4-star still available. Can I get on it? I'll try it. We'll see. Can't hurt to try a little bit. The recommended strong safeties are not that good. All right, we'll see what that plays like. Let's go full 50 on Enrique Soria. Maybe try to steal him away again. He doesn't even have a visit. I'm going to get the competitive visit on him. We'll see what happens. Caleb Hinkle's another 4-star we can maybe try to grab at the last minute. We have no more visits scheduled. We have a lot of 4-stars we added to the board. I need to go down and get... where's he at? This is a 2-star? I didn't realize I put a 2-star on the board. Who was it? Was it this guy? Yeah, D'Angelo Bohannon. Let's see if we can get on him. We'll see what we can do. Let me take this 4-star off the board, or a 2-star off the board. I didn't realize I put a 2-star on the board. Let me go back and grab somebody else. Let me grab myself another little player here. How about Cookus? Andre Cookus. Let's start by offering everybody scholarships. Give everybody a scully. And then we will go from there. Hopefully this recruiting class ends up being good. It's already pretty good. We have 2 5-stars on the board. And we have a potential for 2 more, including a quarterback. So that's always pretty solid. Maybe we can get those guys. Maybe we can't. You never know. We'll give these guys scholarships. And then we're going to be left with 25 hours that we can put on somebody. So who do we want to go after? Probably the center, Barry Patton, because we needed a center. So let's go after him with those last 25 hours. And that's a big recruiting thing we just took care of. But now we're taking on technically our first like real big tough team, even though Kansas, we went down to the wire. But UCF is technically, as far as ratings go and as far as overall record goes this season, they're our first real big test. Let's start buying into a little bit of recruiting still. So now most of the positions are interested in the portal, are more interested in the portal. So that's going to help us this year. We're looking good there. But now let's take on UCF. We've only got a few more games left to go this season. Let's try to keep our perfect season intact and beat UCF because they are a decent team this year. Big test on the road against UCF here. Trying to take them down. Can we keep that high-powered offense moving? It looks like we might be able to. We're up 10-0 in the first quarter. And we might be going up at least 13. Maybe 17. No, it's going to be 13. They get a field goal. This defense, man, I don't know what kind of Michael Jordan special sauce they drank, but they are going crazy. 20-3 on the road. It's a complete and utter domination of UCF, 23-3. They're driving at the end of the game. They get a touchdown. It's not going to be enough. It's 23-10. We beat UCF, stay undefeated. Man, we get on top early. That's what I've noticed so far this season. Other than the Kansas game, we get on top early and we don't let up. We just hold on to that lead the rest of the game. That's kind of what our strategy has been so far. But another win, undefeated season so far. We get locked out on a few guys that we just put on. That's the 4-star I tried to get. I knew we probably were a little too late on him, but I tried it. And Enrique Soria also locked us out as well. So the two guys I went after, they didn't like us. So that's kind of annoying. I really want him to decommit, but I don't think can you decommit from pro potential? I don't think you can. We are so close on these guys. Just commit already. These last two 5-stars just won't commit. Some of these guys, I don't know what to do with them. I want everybody to commit to the team. Why are you playing hardball with me? Why are we playing hardball? We'll toss 50 on a bunch of players. We'll take off Bohannon and Smith because they locked us out. We'll toss 25 on Cookus. We didn't jump in the race for Patton just yet. We'll figure it out. We take on Kansas. They're 21 in the nation. We're 6th in the nation. How's the standings looking so far? Conference standings. We are the only undefeated team. Texas Tech, who beat us last year, I think, right? I think they beat us last year. Texas Tech, but then we beat, yeah, so they beat us in the regular season, but then we played them again in the Big 12 championship and we beat them. That's what it was. So they look like it could be a rematch of the Big 12 championship because they are having a really good season. If we can beat Kansas here, then we end their season effectively. We stop them from having any shot of getting into the conference championship. And that's really all I care about. I want to end the hopes and dreams of any rival fan. So let's go and do that. Big top 25 matchup against Kansas State here. We take them on. They're number 21 in the country to be exact. We put up 7 points to start. That's a good start. We need the offense to be hot today. 14-0. That's also a good start. I guess it's not a start anymore. We're into the second half. 14-0. The defense is playing well. Offense looks a little sluggish, though, to be specific. They're not dominating like they should, but the defense is dominating, pitching a shutout right now against the top 25 team. 17-0 victory. Okay, boys. A shutout against a top 25 team. The defense is on fire this season. Absolute flames. And I'm here for it. That's a big win. And that is also, we had people on campus in that game. So a blowout is always nice. And we achieved it. We got 17 points. So the blowout's always nice. We have a recruitment. It's James Hicks. Or a commitment, I should say. But Atogwe has not committed to us, and he's actually fallen to second. Why? Why is it like this? Stop it. Atogwe, we're in a recruiting battle with Miami, and they have passed us, and they have him on campus. We are losing Bo Atogwe. It's just going to happen. We're going to lose him. That's just the way that it be. We're still looking good for John Gentile. We can actually switch to a hard sell on him. I thought that I already did that. We can switch to the hard sell. It's not a great hard sell. It's 2 B pluses and a B. It's better than nothing, I guess. Oh, we forced a recruiting battle with USC for Kalfusi, which is nice. We're jumping into the battle for some of these other guys. We have 50 hours. We can spend it on somebody. Let's go after... Let's put a full 50 on one of the off... Or let's put 25 on each of these guards. Because we do need some guards. So let's put 25 on you and then 25 on you. Why did I choose those two? I don't know. It's kind of chose two guys. And we will move to the game against Baylor. We're going to lose the corner, Bo Atogwe, but we might have John Gentile. We got to win this game. We're coming up on the final games of the season. Let's just stay up. Let's stay perfect because I really want to stay perfect. We go on the road to Waco, Texas, I think is where Baylor is. The campus is at. They already got a safety. What? 2-0. That's a wild start to this game. It's now 3-2, 10-2. We score immediately. I don't know what's happening in this game. It's 10-2. We're driving. 17-2, 24-2, 24-8 now. Baylor gets a touchdown. Late third quarter, 27-8. We're scoring as quick as I can even talk. 30-8. Offense is going crazy. It's about time. And the defense is still holding 33-8. This defense, man, this is a championship level defense. This is a championship level defense. What a second quarter. 17 points in the second quarter really gave us that victory. But we started down 2-0 because of that safety. That's kind of crazy. But we do get another win. We stay perfect, which is what I wanted. Maybe we can finally get some recruiting commitments. Some more that maybe Bo Otagwe sees that game and he's like, yeah, I want to come play for them. Yeah, of course I want to come play for them. Or are we going to be heartbroken by him committing to Miami? We're going to be heartbroken. He chose Miami. And Mafu chose USC as well. We are not closers, that's for sure. Bo Otagwe chose the U. You're going to be regretting that one, that's for sure. Big 12 championship has been decided. It's us versus TCU in the Big 12 championship. That was the final game of the season. So the Big 12 championship has been decided. It's us versus TCU. I'm just going to take him off the board. There's no way he's going to decommit. Bo Otagwe also has pro potential. We're going to take him off the board. Take him off the board. John Gentile. I don't want to lose him. Some of these guys I just wish would just commit already. Why are you making it so difficult for me? Why is this so much harder than it should be? We'll take off these offensive linemen off the board. One of the guards locked us out after we put 25 hours on him. I think that's always funny when they do that. They lock me out right after I put 25 hours on him. It's always kind of funny, isn't it? Funny how things work out. We'll just put 25 hours on every single person we physically can. And maybe I'll even toss a 50 piece on somebody. Let's toss a 50 piece on a guard. Let's go Keegan McGinn. We're going to go 50 hours on him. He's going to be like, wow, they really want me. But our recruiting class is pretty solid. We got 2 5-stars. We got 3 4-stars. We're trying to grab another 5-star. We haven't even gotten to the portal yet. So things are looking up. And we had a perfect season so far. A perfect regular season. Another recruitment, or another commitment. It's Greg Ali, wide receiver, 4-star, has chosen to come play for us next year, which is good. Receiver's always useful. But now it's time for the Big 12 championship. We won it last year. Welcome aboard, Greg Ali. So that's 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 4-stars. I can't count. 4 4-stars, 2 5-stars. Gentile is, if we win the Big 12 championship, Gentile chooses us. I think that's pretty safe to say. If we lose, it's a different story. But if we win this Big 12 championship, we get him. We're still trying to grab these other guys. We'll take him off the board. We got 75 hours. I guess I can toss 50 on a couple people. We can go there. And then we can go... We don't need to go on you. We're already looking good on you. A lot of these guys we've already gotten... we're the only guys going after them. We're the only guys with scholarships on them, so... We're already looking pretty good there. Cookus, we're doing good. I guess we will put hours on Demetrius Gage because we haven't gotten in the race for him yet. So that'll be our recruiting looks. The board looks a lot better than it did last year, I think. I think the recruiting board's looking good this year. Are we going to be a big-time college football team? College football playoff team? So the buys of the top 4 seeds are the SEC champion, the ACC champion, 2 SEC teams, and a Big Ten team. Really? You would put two SEC teams over an undefeated Big 12 team? Man, the SEC bias is out of control here. I can't believe they would put two SEC schools in as top 4 seeds when, and especially an undefeated Big 12 team. That seems kind of crazy. We got to stay undefeated first before we get mad at SEC bias. So let's go and beat TCU and win the Big 12 championship for the second time. Big 12 championship game from Jerry's World. It's game number 2 for us in the Big 12 championship. We played in here last year, won it. I want to win it again. Our high-powered defense, our lockdown defense, takes the field against TCU, hoping to shut them out. Not only a perfect season on the line in this game, but also, I mean, I'd like to think a college football playoff bye is on the line. Who knows what that SEC bias is going to do. But I'd like to think that we have a chance for a Big 12 or for a bye week in the playoffs if we win this game. The only way to know is to actually win the game and find out. So here we go. 3rd and 2. Gonna hand it to Granger. He's gonna get the first down because of course he does. Pierre Granger's a beast. And TCU's gonna start calling them timeouts. 14-13. What's gonna happen? Big end of game drive. Hold the lead. All we got to do is hold das lead. Can we do it? Granger, second timeout used. I have the shoe clock on, right? Yeah, I do. Okay. I got that shoe clock on. They have us currently in the side of the bracket that, if we were to win our first game, would be taking on Auburn, which is the team I think we should be able to pass in the first place. I don't know why Auburn's even considered a bye week team, a top 4 team. I feel like an undefeated Big 12 champion is much more impressive than a one-loss SEC team that didn't win the Big 12 or didn't win the SEC championship. Because Texas is also there. They're the undefeated team. I guess we'll find out who wins. If Auburn loses to Texas, then we don't have a problem. But if Auburn beats Texas and you got 2 one-loss teams in the SEC, we got a big problem. But if Auburn loses to Texas, then they're just going to fall out of the thing guaranteed. We don't have a problem then. We didn't get the runoff like I was hoping for on that kneel down. So we just waste a yard of Ezekiel Savage's stats. That's okay, because we have gotten some pretty solid runs here. Haonga gets up, but an injury to Kevin Haywood stops the clock. I hate you, Kevin Haywood. I'm going to tell you to transfer. How dare you stop the clock here? But Pierre Granger's a god. Pierre Granger with that change direction, he gets himself the victory right there. And I'm not even going to try to go for the touchdown because I don't want to fumble or anything like that. I'm content winning 14-13. It's the Big 12 championship. We win for the second year in a row. We are Big 12 champions. Does that mean we have secured ourselves a top 4 seed in the college football playoffs? I really hope that's what that means. We got to figure out if who won the SEC championship, though. We are Big 12 champions for the second straight year. We can go to the trophy room. You love to see it. 2 Big 12 titles. Took down Texas Tech last season. 17-14. We're winning these games by the skin of our teeth. 14-13, 17-14. We're winning those Big 12 championships by the skin of our teeth. But here we go. Advancing past conference championship week. Did Texas beat Auburn? Did Auburn beat Texas? What's going to happen here? Another commitment. It's Bernie Hollenbach. But Gentile does not choose us after that game. He's still deciding between us and Texas A&M. Okay. What's going to happen here? Sherrod Bryant, player of the week. We have a bye week. That doesn't mean it's bowl week, though. What's the bracket look like? What? We are a 5 seed? Who won the SEC championship? Because I think Texas lost. So who won the SEC championship? Where is scores and schedules is what I need to go to. Who won the SEC championship? It was Missouri. Auburn wasn't even in the SEC championship? Texas won the game, so they're the SEC champions. But Auburn wasn't even in the SEC title game, and they're a top 4 seed? What is this SEC bias going on here? They're 11-1. Texas, you have two one-loss SEC teams, and you're keeping out an undefeated Big 12 champion. What is this SEC bias? What are we talking about here? How in the world can you keep out a BYU team that has no losses, undefeated? Yeah, we haven't looked dominant. We haven't looked like the greatest team of all time. We're not world beaters by any means, but we are an undefeated BYU, and they have a one-loss Auburn that's ahead of us. Oscar Powhade? I don't know how to say that name. He's the Texas quarterback. He wins the Heisman Trophy. Good for him. We're taking on Boise State in the first round of the playoffs. I can't believe we're even in this spot. Thankfully, it's not a road playoff game in the snow against Oregon like it was last year, but the fact that we're even in this spot is kind of insane. We have no first-team All-Americans, no shock there. We have no second-team All-Americans. We have no freshman All-Americans. What about the Big 12? We have one D-tackle, Abasiri, who makes first-team Big 12. Center Robbie Martin makes the second team. And then freshman, we have James Navarre, we have Jeremy Angel, Trent Hearns, Sherrod Bryant, all make freshman Big 12. But All-American's a scam in this game. It always has been. Early National Signing Day. What are the dev traits of our guys? Star dev for the #1 player in the country, Ezekiel Gooch. Wish it would have been a little bit better. Mike Veal has impact. Normal for Brent Ninkovich. Normal for James Hicks. Impact for Greg Ali. Normal for Justin Weil. And then normal for Bernie Hollenbach. So, kind of a letdown of a dev trait reveal. We don't get one elite player with the guys that we've already signed, already committed. Texas A&M forced a recruiting battle. A lot of these guys we've been forced into recruiting battles with these guys, which is real sucky because we were in the lead for them for most of the season. Kind of annoying. We've got job offers, we got staff moves, we got all kinds of stuff. Should I fire my staff? I think I should fire at least my offensive coordinator. I can't. I should have forgot about that. I should have done that at the conference championship week. Whatever, we'll keep him. We've got a big game. I mean, we lost against Oregon in the first round of the playoffs last year. I don't think we'll lose again. Excuse me, my nose is clogged right now. I apologize. I don't know what was going on there. I couldn't breathe out my nose for a second. I don't think we'll lose again against Boise State, but you never know. This is a different team than Oregon, but they're still on the similar power level, but this time it's at home. So I'm hoping that this time is a W. We can move on, and then we can show the world that we're better than Auburn, and they shouldn't have been 4 seed in the first place. First round of the college football playoffs, Boise State and BYU. We got to show the world that we deserve to be the 4 seed, and we were robbed by SEC bias. So we got to go out here at home, win this game, and then move on to the second round and be champions. So that's where we got to go. But we're down 13-3 right now. 13-10. We score quickly there. Let's please get a touchdown. Stop them. Stop them, please. Big end of the game drive. Here we go. 1:30, no timeouts. And we got to score at least a field goal. Maybe a touchdown. And they're going to press up. That could be a mistake. We know Granger doesn't have amazing arm strength, but it could be a mistake. That's wide open. Granger gets it to him. It's Addison. And he runs out of bounds at the 48-yard line. 1 interception for Ezekiel Savage today. Kind of concerning, but it's okay. Ezekiel has got a lot of room. He slides down, first down. There we go. We got to be careful without having timeouts. Got to be careful when we scramble. Run the hurry up. Fire that to Addison. He's been big. Good blocks down the field, getting a couple extra yards. Let's hit a little play action slide. We'll get Ezekiel Savage in a little bit of space here. See, we already got ourselves into field goal range. But I want a little bit more. I want more. Ezekiel Savage trying to fight down to the 3. He got us down to the 3 with a minute to go. Maybe we got down here too quickly. I don't know. We're going to motion the tight end. Hand it off to Pierre Granger. And he will be denied at the 4. Lost a yard on that one. I thought maybe I could sneak myself in with Granger, but we couldn't do it. It's been all Ezekiel Savage getting us down here in this spot. and we might as well let him finish it off. Granger with the block. Savage into the end zone. Touchdown, BYU. Can the defense hold for a few more seconds? Yes, they can. BYU will move on. We have won a playoff game finally. And Ezekiel Savage, it was all Ezekiel Savage on that drive. He was rolling out in the pocket, hitting Rudy Addison on a couple of big plays, scrambling for first downs. With no timeouts and a minute 30, he executed that drive to perfection, and we win the game. We move on. We've won a college football playoff game. Congratulations. Now we got to go prove that we are better than Auburn. We got to go prove that we are better than the Auburn Tigers. And that's who we matched up with. I knew that's who it was going to be. So they were given a bye because they're an SEC school. We need to show that it was a mistake that they gave the bye. It's the Cotton Bowl. Let's go and win it. The Mormons try to defend their pride and show the world that the SEC is not as good as they think they are. We take down Auburn. We come back to Jerry's World, where we just had the Big 12 championship a couple of weeks ago. But we've got to take them down. They were given this because they're an SEC school. No other reason. It's 9-14 right now. Fourth quarter action. Give me the football. We're down in this game 14-9. We got to score. But I believe in Ezekiel Savage. We've taken it to the 2-minute warning. Why did the clock roll so much? Do I have True Clock on? I don't have True Clock on. I don't know why the clock rolled so much. Whatever. We are right there, ready to go. Maybe I should have the True Clock on if we're about ready to score. So that they can't have that much time on the clock. There we go. We eat a bunch of time right there. 2nd and 2. Handoff. Haunga. He gets to 3rd and 1. We'll try another run. That takes us under a minute. Haungas are ready to hand off again. He gets it. He's got the first down, but I tried my best not to get in there. That's a fake injury. That's most definitely a fake injury to stop the clock. 45 seconds until glory. It's dropped. That's probably for the best. Probably for the best he dropped that, because I didn't really like the throw. I didn't really like the throw there. Let's go quickly. It's caught by Hoffman. No, it's not. It's dropped by Hoffman. Okay, I guess I can't trust my tight ends. That's 2 drops for them. I can only trust... I have circle. I'm just going to take it. There's no reason to not take that. It was 2 right there. Can the defense hold up? Yes, they can. We win. We show Auburn that they shouldn't have been the 4 seed. BYU moves on to the semifinals. Oh, this is the year. This defense is too good. I told you earlier in the episode, this is a championship-level defense, and we now have a chance to prove that by playing in the semifinals of the college football playoffs. Look at the boys go. Look at the boys go. We win the Cotton Bowl. We now have that trophy to add to the trophy cabinet. We will advance to week 3 of the bowl games. The college football semifinal. Who's it against? Who is it against? No! It's against the Ducks. It's a rematch. Oh, I can't believe it. It's destiny. It is destiny. We take on the Oregon Ducks in the Peach Bowl for a chance to go to the national championship and get our revenge for them beating us in kind of insane fashion in last year's first round matchup. Let's go get our revenge and take that monkey off our back, take care of that demon, and move on to the national championship. This game means a little bit more than just being a semifinal playoff game. This game means a lot to us because it is a chance to get revenge on the Oregon Ducks, which, in my opinion, we should have beaten last season on the road at Autzen Stadium in Eugene in the snow. But we ended up coming up short in that game, and this is our chance to show that we are better than them. We're going to get the upper hand on them. So we're up 17-10. We got to run the clock down and move on to the national title game. It's that simple. It's that simple. There's no snow. There's no crowd enhancements. Just win this game. Haunga goes down. That's a timeout called. It's Penn State and LSU on the other side of the bracket in the other semifinal game. So either one of them is who we're playing, and that play action did not work well at all. That is for sure. That did not go well. Let's see what I can do here. I'm going to send him up. I did that on purpose to get him to bite on it so I could have that open space there, and it worked to perfection. Not just a hat rack, my friend. Let's see what we got. 2 timeouts have been used by Oregon. 1 timeout remains. Haunga can't go anywhere. Final timeout used by the Ducks. So we need like 1 first down, I think. 1 first down wins us this football game. Oh my God, that defensive tackle has been a menace so far. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. This is tough. 3rd and 11. This Oregon defensive line is full of stars. They are making our offensive line look foolish right now. But I believe in this team. I've believed in this team all season. I believe in this team right here in this moment. I believe in Ezekiel Savage. I believe he's got what it takes. Wheel route up the field. Pass interference. Pass interference. Give me a first down, baby. That's as baited of a pass interference call as I could have ever had. That ball was not catchable. Give me a first down. Thank you very much. Give me a kneel down. And give me a national championship appearance. We just got baited out of our souls right there for a victory over the Ducks. But you know what? I don't care. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. You lie, you cheat, you steal. Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace. He taught me much. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And we cheated to get that victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. A win is a win is a win is a win. So we exercise our demon against Oregon. We get our revenge, and we are playing for a national championship. I told you this defense was national championship level. And now we get to prove that by winning one in the national title game against either Penn State or LSU. Who is it going to be against? Who are we taking on? Haunga is the player of the week in the offense. It'll be Penn State, the Nittany Lions. Will take on the Mormons for the national title. It doesn't get bigger than this. They're undefeated. We're undefeated. Somebody's got to break. Something's got to fold here. National title, Penn State versus BYU. Can the Mormons climb the mountain and win the title? We'll find out. We have finally arrived at the mountaintop. BYU is back in the national championship game for the first time in a long time, and we have to prove that we deserve to be here. We have rebuilt this BYU team into a viable threat, a dynasty, and we need to capitalize on that. We need to show that we are a dynasty by having the hardware, and it looks like we're showing that right now. 20-7 in the 4th quarter of the national championship game, but Penn State's driving. They are trying to get back in this game. It's 20-14. We can't allow them to get back in this. We have to hold this lead. We have to. Ezekiel Savage, first season as a starter, has had some trials and tribulations. He's had his ups and downs. He was benched for a couple of games this year as we tried to figure out who the actual starter of this team was going to be. We realized it was going to be Savage. We settled on him, and he has led us to not only a Big 12 championship, but also 3 wins in the playoffs so far, trying to get his 4th. And a perfect season, potentially, on the way. Penn State's out of time, or they're about to be out of timeouts after this play. And now they are. No more timeouts for Penn State. No more timeouts. We need a couple of more first downs because we do have that 2-minute warning to contend with here. Oh, the defensive tackle got there super quickly. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I'm going to have to snap this before the 2-minute warning, unfortunately. We're in a bad spot here. I don't like this. I don't like that throw either. Hoffman catches it. It's a 4th down. We got to try to kick a field goal here. A 2-minute warning has arrived. A 53-yard field goal feels kind of insane in the national championship. I can't kick this. I can't kick a 53-yard field goal with the meter going that fast. I'm not that good. Going for it feels like the wrong move, but we have to try some. It's the national championship. We got to do what we got to do. I'm going to get sacked. They brought so much push, not even just pressure. The push was insane, and they scored a touchdown immediately. The push was insane by Penn State there. Did you see their 2 defensive linemen push back my offensive lineman like it was nothing? The push was insane from those guys. I felt like that was the only thing. I was not going to make that field goal. Let's be real. I was not going to make the field goal. So it's almost like I missed the field goal anyway because we turned the ball over. So let's be honest. I was not going to make that field goal. We get out of bounds. We still have 2 timeouts. I got to turn the shoot clock off. I don't want to forget about that. All we need is a field goal. They're only up by a point. We can win this national title with a field goal. We've won a lot of these games this year by the skin of our teeth. It would not be out of character to win any of these games by a field goal or by 1 point or anything like that. It would be kind of on brand. It almost, people would be expecting us to win by a single point or escaping in a victory. Ezekiel Savage, look at the room! Ezekiel Savage down the field! Ezekiel Savage to the 1! Injury to Bradley Ivory. Ezekiel Savage just broke off the highlight clip of his career. He will forever be remembered in BYU lore as Haunga scores the touchdown. He will forever be remembered in BYU lore as the man who got us into position to win the national title. Penn State has 34 seconds and no timeouts. Will we be national champions at the end of this drive? He got a lot of yards he shouldn't have had right there. Oh, Sagapolatelli. Sagapolatelli is here in Penn State now. Former Hawaii quarterback. I remember him from our Hawaii Dynasty in College Bowl 25. He's now here in Penn State territory. 22 seconds, he spiked it. They get the first down, but that just stops the clock for a second. Unless this isn't the same Sagapolatelli. That might not be the same Sagapolatelli. Now that I'm looking at the name. It could be the same. I don't know. There's a bunch of different people with that name, I guess. 15 seconds. They need a touchdown. They don't need a field goal. They need a touchdown, which is hurting them because they have 15 seconds left. They got to go deep, but it's just these continued checkdowns. That's a big spin move. The spin move gets me all the time, man. I can't help it. 9 seconds. They got the first down, so they don't have to worry about the spike. But the clock is moving. You got to move, Penn State. You got one play now. They did not have urgency right there. It's going to go for it. He caught it, and he's tackled. BYU is national champions. We've done it. And it was that play by Ezekiel Savage, that scramble that won us the title. Yeah, Haunga had to put it in the end zone, but Ezekiel Savage had the breakaway to get us there in the first place. We have beaten Penn State. You could say it's an upset because they are like 10 overall higher than us, and they're the number 2 team in the country, but we're also undefeated. We deserve to be here just as much as they did. And we win the national title. We have officially rebuilt the BYU Cougars. The Mormons have a title. It's going to be high fives and Coca-Cola partying like crazy in Utah today or tonight. A lot of hugging, a lot of high fives, a lot of soaking is going to happen in the streets and in the sheets here in BYU country. Because we are national champions. And that play right there, that run, got us the title. Congratulations to the boys. We are national champions. It feels good. And now we have to make a decision. Do we end the series here and go on to a new team to rebuild? Or do we keep going for at least one more year and see if we can repeat as national champions? Because we've already done the goal of this series, which is to rebuild the BYU Cougars to win a national championship. We just did that. So I guess we got to figure out, are we going to go one more year? Or are we going to end it here? I think since we got so attached to the freshmen that we were recruiting this year, I think I will go one more season. And it also means we get to see the end of Ezekiel Savage's career, because he's what, a sophomore redshirt right now, so he'd be a junior redshirt. I think we should wrap up the storylines of some of our players here that we've come to know and love, like Ezekiel Savage and Pierre Granger and all that kind of stuff. We go perfect 17-0, by the way. A perfect 17-0. Pretty sick. But I do think we should go at least one more season to wrap up some of these storylines, wrap up some of the careers of some of these guys we've come to know. So I think we will go one more year. Players leaving, though. Who's going to leave the national champions? You're going to leave for coach prestige? Jalen Farrell? We just won the national title. How do I not have coach prestige? That's insane. Lamison Waller III wants to leave because of conference prestige. The Big 12 is not a very good conference. And then we've got Bachmeier transferring for playing time and Cameron Dyer transferring for playing time. I think these guys see the writing on the wall that Ezekiel Savage is going to be the starter this year. I'm going to persuade Dyer. He failed. I'm going to persuade Waller. He failed. I'm going to persuade Bachmeier. He failed. I'm going to persuade Hoffman. He failed. I'm not going to persuade Jalen Farrell because I'm going to switch that setting because there's no way that our coach prestige is bad. We just won the national title. So we're going to turn this down to 0. It's going to be a guaranteed chance for him to come back, and then we're going to get him back because he has no business transferring on. There we go. Success. He stayed. He has no business transferring for coach prestige when we just won the effing national title. Coach prestige would be at the highest it could ever be. So we have gotten Jalen Farrell back. Everybody else leaves. I think it's okay that the quarterbacks leave because they saw the writing on the wall. Ezekiel Savage is clearly the guy. So they saw the writing on the wall. Waller kind of upsets me a little bit because that's a big-time starter that we lose a wide receiver. He leaves because of conference prestige. I mean, the Big 12's fine, but I guess he wants to go somewhere else. But the rest of the people leaving the team, we are losing the 2 quarterbacks. We knew that. We are losing Haunga to graduation. We are losing Waller and Nakua, 1 to graduation, 1 to transfer. We're losing 3 tight ends, 1 to transfer, and then 2 to graduation. We're losing Darren Downs. We're losing Tupoa, Escalante, and Robbie Martin both graduating. And Kevin Haywood, who I'm thank God's graduating because he got hurt every single time. 3 defensive ends, including Charlie Collins. Basiri, who was an All-American, he graduates. Is he going to the draft? No, he's just graduating. We lose Armando Blunt finally. He's been here for a while. We're losing a lot of players. We might not be able to repeat. Beasley's graduating. We do have Jalen Farrell coming back, but we're losing some other safeties. And then Satuala has projected draft pick, so that's pretty sick. Didn't think that was going to happen. And I do want to I want to try something because I heard that this was patched, and it's no better time to try it than now. I want to try to transfer play. James Franklin's the head coach of Ohio State? No, my worst nightmare. Please don't ever let that happen. Please, I don't want to be mediocre for 10 years. No. What happened to Ryan Day? James Franklin's the head coach of Ohio State. That's a nightmare fuel right there. But I want to see if they patched it or not. Did they patch this? I think they did. Because usually when you get to this spot, you can turn into whatever team you want, and then you can tell people to transfer, but it doesn't seem like that's an option anymore. I think they did patch it. The people that were telling me that it's patched is correct. Okay, well, that's good to know. Why would they change that? Why would they ever get rid of that? That seems like a stupid thing to patch. Why would you patch that? I don't know. Whatever. I just wanted to test to see if that was true or not. So now it is. Now I know that it is. That's very dumb to patch that. Very stupid from EA Sports. But whatever. We'll move on to recruiting. Off-season recruiting is finally here. Well, it will be after we see draft results and everything. All right. Draft results. Do we have more than one? No, we just have one. But instead of going in the 6th round, he goes in the 4th round. So that's pretty sick. That'll help us slightly in Pro Potential. It's not going to do wonders for Pro Potential, but it'll help us a little bit. All right, so here's the guys that we have committed already. We're still trying to grab John Gentile, another another 5-star, our final 5-star that we have a chance to get, at least in freshman 5-star. I'm going to go through. We have 1,200 hours we can use in recruiting. So I'm going to go through and offer basically everybody 50 hours, at least at the start. Week 2, maybe we can switch to hard sells, but at least for the start, we're going to go through and offer at least all the 4-stars 50 hours. Let me take a look at the portal, though. Let me take a look at the portal before I decide on going after anybody else. What are we looking at in the portal? We are looking at a quarterback from Penn State. CJ Carr was not the starting quarterback of the team that we beat, Penn State. So he just decides to leave. We've got a right tackle, Damian Caraway, who was number 1 on our board, or number 1 on his board. We'll go for it. A running back, Oscar Goins. Definitely want to offer him. Another right tackle. We need some offensive linemen, so Felix Lucky is an insane name. I want to definitely go after him. Emilio Rubio, a tight end. We need some tight ends for sure. Not as many players as I would like, but there are some. We are first on a few people's boards, which is pretty sick. We definitely need some wide receivers. There's a quarterback from Anthony Padrino from Alabama, backfield creator. We don't necessarily need a quarterback, but let's take some of these 3-star players off this board. Like Kevin McGinn, we can take off the board. We can take off Cole Armour. We can also take off... I'll keep the rest of those guys, because, I mean, we're in the lead for them. We're in the lead for them. So if we go to interest, there's a 3-star wide receiver transfer. There's a 4-star, but he's a speedster, definitely. Definitely a speedster. And then there's an edge we can grab, and that is it for right now. That is it for right now on the board. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to go through, and I'm going to offer all these guys scholarships, and I'll put the points on everybody. We'll get through this. It's going to take a minute, so I don't want to show you guys because it's going to be boring. But I'm going to go all through this, and I'll recap what I've done and where I've put the points and all that kind of stuff, and then we can get moving on. All right, so I've decided on where I'm going to spend the hours, and it's kind of crazy where I'm spending these hours. So I think I'm going to take playing time for Yaboa's down because we got a lot of transfer running backs. You know what? Yaboa, I'm tired of you. I'm taking you off this board. We've battled for you for a while. I just can't do it anymore. So I've put 50 hours on basically every transfer. I went through, we had enough hours, so I went through it. We offered scholarships. We put 50 hours on every single transfer. The freshmen, I haven't put any hours on because we are in the lead for, and nobody's even going after them. So we're just going to get them. So the freshmen that I did put hours on are the guys that we actually have somebody fighting with us for. So we'll try to keep battling with them. But that is where I've decided to put all my hours. We're going to simulate to week number 2 and see if that was a good idea to do that, or if we are going to get some of these guys stolen from us and have our hearts broken. We do get a commitment. It is John Gentile. Finally, the 5-star quarterback finally chooses us. It's about time. It's about time we get him to commit to the program. Thank you. We've been battling with you forever. You finally choose to come play for us. That's 3 5-stars in the class. I'm okay with that. That's pretty sick. We're looking good on everybody else here. We probably need to get some hard sells going. We can't do any visits on some of these guys because we already got them on campus. But Jamie Knight, we never got on a visit. So we can get him on a visit quickly. Do that. We're looking good for you. We've passed USC. They don't even have a scholarship on Yoder anymore. We're looking good on you. But they got a visit scheduled for week 2 for Terrell Kindred. So we might as well get a week 3. See if we can hold off Utah there. We're doing good on you. We're doing good on you. Penn State pulled their offer on Patino. Okay. That's good. We've jumped into first place for Damian Caraway, a big-time transfer, so we'll get a visit. He likes proximity to home. He's from Arizona. So we'll get a visit scheduled for him. We're trying to climb up on Oscar Goins. We can't get a visit scheduled for him just yet. Bradley Pounds. We can do one for Felix Lucky. I am feeling lucky. We can't do week 3 because we got a competitive with Kindred. So we'll do a week 2. We're looking good here. Marshall Pritchett. We can't afford to get a visit scheduled just yet. We are in the lead for a bunch of these guys. I don't know if we're going to get everybody, but we are in the lead for them. Who else is cheap visits. So we got a couple 20. Okay, so we got a couple 20s. We can afford some of these other visits. This guy is only 10, and he gets a complimentary. He likes Coach Prestige. That's not okay. I didn't mean to click academic prestige. I went too far over it, scrolled too far, and it kind of backfired on me. That's my bad. Let's get a visit for Corbin John, because he only costs 10. So we can do a week 3 with him, and he likes proximity to home. He's from Utah, so perfect. But now we have only the ability to schedule nobody else. We can't schedule any more visits. We can. We can get Nick Block on campus, I guess. Might as well do that. Sure, why not? All right, that's 5 hours left. Let's see what happens. Let's see where all of this recruiting goes. What's going to happen? Where's everybody going? We got a lockdown on a couple of people. But not that many. We're looking good on a couple of these guys. We've passed on Miami for Jamie Knight. We're looking good here. We're looking good here. All right, Caraway, we're doing good. Oscar Goins, we can now get on a visit. He likes Coach Prestige. If I can actually hit the button the right way. Bradley Pounds, if I can say the name. I can't speak. He likes championship contender. Good news, we are just the national champions. Felix Lucky, we did very good on. Rubio, we can't do yet. Pritchett, we can get a week 4. We've already got you on a week 2, but Oregon passed us for you. We might lose out on you. Michael Turner, we're trying to battle for. He's got a complimentary with the right tackle. What's he like? He likes conference prestige. Where is our conference prestige at? It's down here. All right, we'll see what happens with Michael Turner. We'll take Brandon Finnery out. We'll take Anthony Padrino out. We can get Nathan Lennon on a visit. He likes pro potential. So we'll schedule you. We probably don't have enough hours or enough. Yeah, we can't schedule any more visits. I don't know if these are going to go well for us. But I'm trying my very best to get these guys. I'll toss 25 on everybody here, even though they don't need it, because nobody else is going after them, but just to spend those hours. Just to spend those hours. All right, let's go to the final week. The final week of recruiting. Who is going to be a Mormon? We get somebody. It's Jake Matakevich. We've been battling with him for a long time this year, and he finally chooses to come play for us. Welcome aboard. That's pretty big. He's a decent player. He's 102 in the nation. He's the best 4-star we grabbed. Okay. I'm okay with that. We got passed again on Jamie Knight by the U. I kind of want to just let this ride and see who we get and see who we don't get. Because I don't know if we're going to get any of these guys. Oscar Goins is probably not going to come here. I think I may just let this ride and see what happens. If we don't get some of these players, we don't get them, but Cashma chose USC. Coker. I'm just going to let it ride. We're going to see what happens. I know I have 250 hours. I could probably start hard selling, but I'm going to let this ride and see who we end up getting and see who we don't get. Let's figure it out. What's the final total? We end up with Damian Caraway and Felix Lucky and Nathan Lennon, couple wide receiver prospects. That's good. Corbin John commits. It's a lot of 4-stars we're getting. Robert Ungalai, I don't know how to say the name. Willie Yoder, I mean. Terrell Kindred, another wide receiver. Tony DeMarco, or DeMarcado, I think is how you say that. Anthony Patino. Barry Patton, these are the freshmen that we didn't really go after that much. Nick Block chose to come play for us. Andre Kukas. Emilio Rubio. Connor Tolson. I'm not seeing any of the running backs, though. Demetrius Gage. I think the running backs chose other teams. Bradley Pounds chose Ohio State. Yeah, Goins chose somebody else, and so did Michael Turner. That's okay. We still have Pierre Granger, so it's not the end of the world. That's kind of why I didn't go super hard on them. We'll take Jamie Knight out. He was never going to come to us. He always wanted to go to Miami. Oscar Goins chose Duke. Pounds chose Ohio State. Good luck with James Franklin. Pritchett, Kustuk, Michael Turner chose Florida State. We did get up to number 2 on Michael Turner, but not good enough. And here we are, the final class. We're bringing 24 people. 24 people in the class. Let's take a look at the final dev traits. We already know what these guys are. We got Star Dev, Impact, Impact, Star. Oh, Star for Matakevich. We didn't know that. And Impact for John Gentile. We didn't know that either. So normal, normal, Impact, normal, normal, Impact, Impact, Star for Turo Kindred, normal, Star for Anthony Patino, normal, Star for Demetrius Gage. So a lot of the freshmen we brought in have decent dev traits. Normal, normal, Star for Damien Caraway, Impact, Star for Rubio, Impact, Star for Corbin John, and then Star for Connor Tolson. So no elite devs this year in recruiting, but a lot of Star and a lot of Impact. That could be good. You never know. Position changes. Do we need to make any position changes? I don't even know. We have one athlete. It's Nick Block. He is a good free safety, so that's probably what we'll make him. There we go. Do I want to change any positions? If I'm going to change anybody, it's going to probably be like a offensive lineman or something. Felix Lucky comes in. So does Nathan Lennon. Yeah, the receiver room looks pretty solid. Receiver room looks pretty solid. Doesn't look amazing, but it looks pretty solid. Can I turn any of these receivers into a tight end? No, they're all very small. We have a lot of small receivers in this roster. Felix Lucky's about the biggest guy I could turn into a tight end. But I don't know if I want to waste 92 speed at tight end. I guess I can make Trevor Paul a smaller tight end. He's an 84 overall at tight end. I think I might do that. We need more tight ends on the roster, so I think I might do that. Everybody else is so tiny, I can't really justify anybody being a tight end. But Trevor Paul, I mean, he's going to be a good tight end for us. So, and at least he gets to start instead of not starting at wide receiver. But I'm not going to turn, I don't think I'm going to turn Felix Lucky into a tight end. I think that'd be a waste of his talents. So we're going to keep what we have there. Offensive line, we need to move somebody to left tackle. So we can probably move one of these right tackles to left tackle. Let's move Tony DeMarcado. We'll move him to left tackle. Just so we have a couple extra bodies over there. I might even move a guard to left tackle. What about Cedric Talbot? Is he a good left tackle? Probably not. He's only 6'1". We do have Dion Spriggs. Our Patino is 6'5". He could probably be a left tackle. So let's move him over to left tackle. That way we have a little bit of depth on the offensive line. There we go. What about edge rusher? We've got Ray Johnstone. We've got Connor Tolson. I'm excited to see what the training is for some of these guys. Coffee ends up being the number 1 D tackle. He probably will stay that after the training. We're very young at linebacker. Is Gooch a Mike linebacker? Is that what he's going to be? He's an 80 overall at a lot of different spots. Does he start anywhere else other than Mike linebacker? He probably doesn't start at Mike linebacker because Trent Hearns is going to get upgraded, so he's going to be the Mike linebacker. Does he start at edge? Ray Johnstone and Connor Tolson. I don't think he should be an edge. Should he be an edge? He might be an edge. I think I'm going to turn him into an edge. Ezekiel Gooch is going to be an edge. We're going to move him to left edge. He's going to start there. Well, he's not going to start there, but he's going to be there. So Johnstone's probably going to pass him when he gets upgraded, but just a little bit more depth at the position. I like that a little bit better. And we have good Mike linebackers other than Gooch, so I'm okay with moving him. We also have good will linebackers. We have good corners. We don't have a lot of corners, but we have good corners. Good enough corners. We might need to take one of these safeties and turn them into a corner. Any of these guys good at corner? Andre Cookus is a 62 at corner. That's not ideal. What about Nick Block? Nick Block is not a good corner. What about James Hicks? Is he a good corner? He's a 73 corner. Let's turn him into a corner. We need more depth at the corner. What about Corbin John? Corbin John is not a... He's an 80 overall corner. That could be helpful. Yeah, that probably should be what we do, right? Yeah, let's turn Corbin John into a corner. He's a good linebacker. He's an 83 overall Mike linebacker, but we're going to turn him into a corner because we need a little bit more help at corner. So Now we've got a little bit more depth and a lot of guys that I trust. And then we move to kicker and punter. We're good there. We don't have more athletes. Okay, that's good for position changes. Now let's move on to the final thing that we needed to, and that's training results and see what kind of skill points we have earned for our guys. How are we looking in terms of skill points? We unlock something. Ooh, Felix Lucky gets a star dev upgrade. That's pretty sick. He's lucky, isn't he? What's the training results look like, though? I want to see specifically what Ezekiel Savage. 63 skill points for Ezekiel Savage. That's what I'm talking about. That's huge. We only have 2 quarterbacks on roster, by the way. Running back 61 for Pierre Granger. Okay, our offense is going to be electric. 41 for him. 51 for Wayne Hicks is pretty sick. Okay, our wide receivers look pretty good. 31 for Trevor Paul. That'll help him grow a little bit more. Offensive line gets around 30. 64 for Rubio. That's nasty. Defensive line, not much. Connor Tolson gets 36. Only 33 for Mike Coffey. That's okay. 26. 45 for Trent Hearns. He's going to be a beast. Couple good ones there. 41 for Sherrod Bryant. I mean, he was pretty awesome this year. 50 for Corbin John. 40 for Colin Coker. The cornerback room is going to get pretty top heavy. 43 for Jalen Farrell. Pretty good numbers. 14 for the kicker. All right. That's pretty sick. I'm okay with that. And like I said, we're probably going to go only one more year because, I mean, Jalen Farrell was a part of that first recruiting class we brought in. He was our first ever 5-star that we were able to recruit. So he's a senior, so he's graduating. Ezekiel Savage, if he has a good year, he's probably leaving as well. So I think the best thing to do is just to go one more season, wrap up some of these storylines that we have. I mean, Pierre Granger's a junior as well. We're going to wrap up these storylines that we have going on with some of these older guys that we have a connection with, and then we will move on to a new team that we can rebuild in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will try my very best to remember to actually do the upgrades off camera so that we can get to the start of the episode a little bit sooner and you can see the actual stuff going on. Do we need to encourage anybody to transfer? Probably not, right? Yeah, we're super under the team, the amount of people we need in the team. Custom conferences, I mean, the Big 12 is not really getting any love. The Big 12 is not really getting any love. They got a lot of hate right now for the Big 12. Should I move anybody into the Big 12? Who needs to go to the Big 12? Maybe we should revert the conferences. That could be kind of funny. You know what? If this is the final year, let's do something for the Big 12. Let's make Stanford go to the Big 12. We get a little bit better competition there. Let's give ourselves Nebraska in the Big 12. That'll help us out a little bit. That'll get the conference prestige a little bit better. And then let's have who else should come who should come to the Big 12? Let's have Notre Dame go to the ACC, because why not? And then we can have, I don't know. I kind of want like Oklahoma to come back or Texas, one of these two teams to come to the Big 12. That could be pretty fun. Let's have Oklahoma. Since we have Oklahoma State already in the Big 12, let's have Oklahoma come back to the Big 12. So now we've got a big conference. It's a lot tougher. We got Nebraska, we got Oklahoma, we got Stanford. We got some tougher teams in the conference now. And Oklahoma State can do their rivalry now. So, all right, that's going to be all of the conference changes that I make. Although I need to make sure that the amount of games is the same, so we don't get screwed up here. ACC should be the same. They got 8 conference games. Perfect. Big 12, we've got 8 conference games. Conference championship game is on. Protected opponents. Do I need to protect any opponents here? I don't think so. Maybe I should. Let's see what we got. Who would be our protected opponents? They want us to have Utah and Stanford. Utah obviously needs to be protected, but do I want to play anybody else other than Stanford as a protected opponent? I don't think so. I don't really care about anybody else. Although maybe we should play Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I want them to play Oklahoma State, so they should have Oklahoma State. And then they have Stanford as their other one. You know what? I'm going to make the protected opponent me. I can't because Stanford is our protected opponent. Never mind. I could probably just switch Stanford's protected opponents to somebody else and be totally fine, but we'll play Stanford. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. This is going to be the final year anyway, so that's the new Big 12 conference. It's kind of crazy. We'll see what happens. It's going to be insane, but that is going to do it for this episode number 4. We are the national champions. It finally happened. Next episode will be the final episode of the series, officially the final episode of the series. And we will see if we can repeat, and maybe I'll actually remember to upgrade the players off camera so that we don't have to do it during the episode. But thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, channel, join the Juice Club, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.